Today, we're going to talk about digital transformation. And I know that some of you are saying, well, that's kind of a boring topic. And it probably is. But 70% of all digital transformations fail. Now, I'm not saying that if you follow everything in this paper, that yours won't fail, but maybe just by going through what I did successfully with digital transformation, maybe I'll give you a few ideas that you might be able to use for your own if you're looking at digital transformation or wanting to kind of go down that road. So really, digital transformation is that missing puzzle piece, right? The piece that really makes IT move. And we have to be able to transform our IT environments from the way they were, for the last 40 years. And so this is really kind of the core at what this paper is focusing on. And we're going to go through kind of some reality there. And then I'm going to actually talk you through some of what the digital transformation might look like in your environment. And then we'll close out with some of the results. So let's go ahead and move into scaling the harsh digital terrain. The reality is that doing a digital transformation is not a popular thing. I will tell you that it's somewhat unpopular. There's lots of old legacy systems, and you'll see here inside of this paper, we're using a bogus, I guess, university, Apex University, for the example here, but the example and this story is actually very real. And you'll see as you read through the paper that there are lots of data points that are alarming to you. For example, this group of systems, there were 14 legacy systems in whole in this landscape, some of which had been 30 or 40 years in the making. And the objective was to move those to a consolidated enterprise cloud-based environment. And so the cost to manage those 14 legacy systems was approximately $19.2 million a year. And this is really at the core of most digital transformation projects. You'll find that the cost is overwhelming. And so you need to make some sort of an investment. And you'll see as we go through the paper that there was a investment made of $25 million to convert Apex University to a single, now this is a university, so it's a student information system called a SIS and a learning management system called an LMS. So it took 2.5 years, $25 million to convert all 14 legacy systems. And over 300,000 students using the system globally. So it's a big, big system. I just wanted to close this page, move on to the next one. Change is the law of life. Those who look only to the past are certain to miss the future. That is a great quote by John F. Kennedy that really does relate to digital transformation. So when we transform and engage in this digital transformation, we have to have purpose. And we need structure. And so with us, we went through multiple phases in order to drive this transformation. Now, you should really design what the entire project is going to look like and all of these phases. And by reading this document, I'm not going to read it to you, but by reading this document, hopefully you'll come up with some ideas of your own within your environment. This is very personal to your environment, but these are some of the things we did. We made sure that we defined the vision requirements and the success outcomes. Remember, you will never get to where you want to go if you don't say where you're going. All right? So we have to know what it is that we're building to. This is probably the most important step. Collect functional requirements and get them in writing, agreed upon by all stakeholders. Because 2.5 years is a long time, and these digital transformation projects take time. You want to clearly define what it is that you're working toward so that you can, through the life of the project, make sure that you focus in on your accomplishments use that for your metrics, and be able to defend your position of what was built. In the end, when people come back and say, well, I really wanted this, well, that wasn't in the functional requirements. This is what we're sticking to. And you're going to have your leadership be 100% sold and ready to defend those functional requirements. Next thing you want to do is design a governance structure. Look, you're going to start this project. 2.5 years is a long time. Like I said, you're going to have changes. Things are going to happen. You're going to want to have a clear and established governance process. That means including others in the decision, make sure that everybody knows what's going on, and be able to make changes as agreed upon through governance. Huge. Next is you want to make sure that you kind of collapse all these systems into one centralized system. In this example, we actually converted 82 educational programs. 3,000 courses were actually migrated, and we began to turn off and decommission the systems along the way. A lot of anxiety there with shutting off somebody's system that they've been using for decades. So you want to make sure you plan this carefully and that you have everything lined up, which leads us to the next section, which is customer experience. So you really want to drive adoption through an experience that is positive for your customers. During this project, we went ahead and did 49 bi-weekly news articles, 94 open mic sessions over the course of 1 year. These are annual numbers. And the reason why we wanted to over-communicate, we also made sure we had a good service desk established. Within the first, during the transition, we supported approximately 45,000 different service tickets. So we wanted to make sure that we had an environment capable of handling all of those service requests. And of course, the last phase is you have to be adaptive, which goes back to the second, making sure that you have a governance structure, but you got to be able to move along and issue flexibility and have flexibility, because sometimes, just like this fish leaping out of water, sometimes that bowl's not there, right? So you want to make sure that the bowl is there, but you want to make sure that you open yourself up for change. Now, over to some of the soft skills. So some of the soft skills that you're going to need is leadership. Leadership plays a huge role in a successful transformation. So you want to make sure that you, right out of the gate, establish these things. And you'll read about this inside of the document, which I'll give you a link inside the video here. You want cross-functional teams. You want to make sure that you populate and have cross-functional teams that can collaborate and communicate with one another. So you need to spread the wealth out and make sure that you have these cross-functional teams. You want to make sure that your communication is transparent. No hiding secrets from the public. None of that. It doesn't work. It will just cause more problems. Be overly transparent. When you're successful, advertise. When you fail, advertise. You got to make sure you're transparent in all communication, and just maintain integrity, personal integrity and honor with yourself in the way you communicate with others. The next, and probably one of the most important things, is you have to have task management in place. Task management that allows you to prioritize tasks, allows you to run metrics on the number of tasks, be able to search tasks, be able to have a centralized collaboration point for documents and information, and you just got to have a solid task management system. So make sure, now we used Planner, Microsoft Planner and Office 365, and we had a ton of people on Planner. Not the most capable system, but it's a system that we had because we had an Office 365 subscription. So, use what you have. And task management, though, however you implement it, vitally important. Just make sure when you do your task management that you're not like overburdening yourself with the task management. Task management meant to help, not hinder your progress. So strike the good balance. All right. So you need to drive change. And while you're driving change inside the environment, you need to drive value. All right. Success is about driving and delivering real value to the organization. In this digital transformation, we started with a $24 million investment, and we quickly moved through. For example, 70 full-time people that were managing these other systems, these 14 legacy systems, were reallocated, repurposed. That's $7 million of money that was being spent that is no longer being spent. That's the impact of digital transformation. So you can read through the document. I'm just kind of highlighting some things. So make sure that whatever you do in your digital transformation, that security is the number one effort that you're working through, right? You need to have security compliance. You need to enhance the user's experience and work on those things that make a difference for the user. So you want to make sure you're not going to make every user happy, but make sure that you have what it takes for the user to feel like they're getting something out of the system. In this example, we migrated approximately 14 million student and academic records that were reviewed, migrated, cleaned, and then, of course, we offered all types of other information, FAQs, tutorials, etc. So make sure that you're enhancing that user experience. Make sure that you're prepared for this cultural change. You want to make sure that you walk around and you talk to the people, have the collaboration that you need, and position yourself for success. So the last thing here is eventually you do reach the summit. You can be successful with digital transformation, but you need to be able to call out your success along the way. So you need to plan out what that success looks like and what that messaging looks like so that you can truly advertise and gain more speed, I guess, or gain more energy to get to the next level. So you need buy-in the entire way, reminding everyone of what's going on, tracking progress, making sure that the project stays on track. And that is it. I go through several different things here and kind of review here. First, make sure you have strong leadership and clear vision. Make sure you have a structure for the transformation. Make sure you have collaboration and task management. And make sure you focus on execution. Now, we actually focused on execution at the contract level. So the contractor, we had so many schools that needed to be migrated. The inside of the service contract that was awarded, they were held accountable. They were not paid until that school. We agreed upon a schedule, and they were not paid until that school was migrated. And so it works quite effectively to be able to hold everybody accountable, not just yourself and those people you work with or work for you, but everybody involved in the project needs to have a level of accountability. And then you can have success with your digital transformation. Good luck.